This is Dragons Live, presented by Form Communications. And now, your host, John Webking.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Dragons Live. I'm your host, John Webking. In the next 30 minutes, we'll get you caught up with everything fall sports with interviews from our coaches and student athletes. And then we'll talk about Homecoming 2014, Laps for the Long Run, hashtag Dragon Pride, and live coverage of all the events this weekend. But first, Laps for the Long Run is happening right now at Alex Nemzik Stadium at the Ron Mason's track, and we'd like to thank all of our sponsors. The goal for Laps for the Long Run was to kick off new MSUM President Dr. Ann Blackhurst's presidency with a fundraising effort to increase scholarships, combining her passion for long-distance running and creating more opportunities for all Dragons at MSUM. We'd like to give a special thank you to Shields and their gift of $20,000 a lap for up to $1 million, as well as President Ann Blackhurst putting up $50K of her own money for the cause. Since Dragons Live only airs on the last Wednesday of every month, we need to get you caught up with all the athletes of the week for the month of September. Week 1, senior cross-country runner Jason Dowell and junior volleyball player Caitlin Van Winkle were named the Minnesota State University Moorhead Courtyard by Marriott Athletes of the Week for September 8th. Dowell earned NSIC Men's Cross Country Athlete of the Week honors for the second time in his career after earning the victory at the Randy Smith Invitational. Dowell is a senior from Wheaton, Illinois. He posted a personal best 8K time of 24:41 to win the event by 15 seconds and help the Dragon men claim the team title at the Randy Smith Invitational. This is the second straight time in 2 years he's won that event. The other Courtyard by Marriott Athlete of the Week is Caitlin Van Winkle, a junior middle blocker from Farmington, Minnesota. She had an outstanding week for the Dragons, recording 61 kills in 4 matches while averaging 3.81 kills per set. She had a season-high 20 kills in MSUM's 4-set win over South Dakota School of Mines, hitting a solid 373 in 126 attack attempts. Van Winkle also had 1 solo block and 19 block assists for the weekend. We had a lot of Dragons soccer at home this month, and let's get you caught up on all of that with some highlights. Dragons soccer started off the season with Washburn on September 5th. The Dragons attack would eventually lead to Stephanie Lindo breaking away for a shot and freshman Janai DiNardo slamming home the rebound for the goal. Junior Ashley Lynch would keep the Dragons lead intact with saves like this one, earning the shutout and the 1-0 win. MSUM looked to build on that win, facing a tough Northwest Missouri State team on September 7th. This time, they would be on the receiving end of the shutout. Bearcats would hand the Dragons a 6-0 loss. The Dragons opened NSIC play on September 14th at Northern State. Sophomore Jessica Johnson had 6 shots, while MSUM's Ashley Lentz had 6 saves, but one would sneak by for a 1-0 loss. MSUM played a pair of home games starting on September 20th with Minnesota Duluth. The Bulldogs' Megan Hellberg would nudge this header in for a goal. Steph Lindo would get a chance on this shot that just sneaks wide of the net. And UMD would prove too much, handing the Dragons a 4-0 loss. Then MSUM hosted St. Cloud State on the 21st. Mackenzie Carlson would get a look down the middle, but goalkeeper Kenzie Hanslick would deny the attempt. Lentz would have a solid day in goal, charting 8 saves. She currently leads the NSIC in saves per game at 6.8. The Huskies' Cara Espinoza stood tall in the middle to get this header to go, giving St. Cloud State the 1-0 lead. The Dragons would take a flurry of shots at the end of the game, including this corner from Annika Greeny to Erin Nyberg. Oh, so close. MSUM couldn't find the back of the net, and the Huskies go on to win 1-0. MSUM is now 1-4 overall and 0-3 in NSIC play, heading into its homecoming games against Augustana and Wayne State. Joined here by Mackenzie. Tough weekend, couple of losses. Today against St. Cloud, a much better played game, came down to the wire, kind of getting a couple of shots towards the end there. What was the difference between yesterday's game against Duluth and today's game against St. Cloud?
I'd say that today we played together as a team a lot better. We connected passes, the defenders did their job coming up, the forwards made their runs. We played some outstanding soccer, and it just wasn't our game today, but we'll get it next time.
Started off with a win against Washburn, had a string of a few losses now. What does the team have to do to turn this the rest of the year around?
I think we just need to keep our head ups and go into every game with the intensity we came into today. Because if we play every game like we did today, things will turn around for us, and I know it will. Joined
by head coach Raleigh Bullock. Raleigh, it was a tough weekend. Give me kind of a recap of both games.
Well, we knew it was going to be tough because we had Minnesota Duluth on Saturday, and we knew that we could play with St. Cloud, but they were on Sunday. So hopefully, we tried to get players rested, subbing in, a lot of subbing in out on Saturday, and and when we played well. It's when we went down to Northern, our shots were from distance. We never got inside the 18. Against Minnesota Duluth, we got probably inside the box probably 3 times and couldn't finish. This time, we were inside the box 7 to 10 times. We had 2 or 3 headers that, and we just couldn't put it away, and things like that happen. But overall, we've improved so much. Okay, and this was Dragon soccer today, definitely.
And define that a little bit. I mean, what is, Dragon soccer? What did they show today that is definitive of your program?
Well, I think we're trying to possess, okay, opening things up, possessing through the middle, and then we've got that spear run, from the middle up towards their back line, but also not giving up and just keep working hard, and I think that's one of the things that you saw today. With seconds remaining, and we were still trying to create something, so I think the bottom line is we don't give up. We just work hard, and things are, I'm excited for the rest of the season.
And final question is, string of a few losses, how does the morale of the team, how do you get in there and turn them around? And I know they played well today. How do you use that to motivate them for the rest of the year?
Well, that's something we can build on. We built on yesterday getting into the box 3 times, and we challenged them, can we double that? Can we get in the box 6 or 7 times? And we did that, so we can build on this game overall because we put together 2 good solid halves, which we haven't done all year yet. So, we're definitely going to build on this game, look at the tape and, keep working.
Dragon Volleyball took on Minot State yesterday night at Nemzik Fieldhouse after starting their 2014 season with 11 straight road games. They entered the contest with a 5-6 overall record and hoping to make their home debut their first conference win of the season. The first set was back and forth, 9 lead changes and 20 total ties. Abby Wolpern slams this one through to give the Dragons a 14-12 lead, but Minot would fight back. Mallory Saul would take 32 swings in the game, swinging .469 with 17 kills. The Beavers' Jen Dixon had a big role in keeping Minot in the game, charting a double-double with 11 kills and 12 digs. The first would go into extra points, with the Dragons pulling through 28-26. The second set was all Dragons, hitting .444 as a team. Maggie Gruber would slam through 12 of her 26 attempts, helping the Dragons take a 2-0 lead. To the third, and the story of the night, Morgan Gradishar. She has one of her best games, hitting .409 on 22 attempts and 3 assists. MSUM would prove too much, taking the third and the match 25-21.
It was great. I've been here 20 years now, being the head coach here, and so we've always had great fan support, and it's one thing that I think I always look forward to when we come home. We actually probably do a better job than a lot of schools with that fan support, and I think that us getting a win tonight will help just keep the fans coming back.
The Dragons advanced to 6-6 on the season and 1-3 in conference play. They return Friday night against Winona and Saturday for homecoming against Upper Iowa. Next up is the Dragon football team, which enters homecoming with a clash against Sioux Falls with a 1-2 record. MSUM opened the season with a heartbreaking 44-36 loss at Upper Iowa, despite setting a school record with 709 yards of total offense. MSUM held a 30-14 lead going into the fourth quarter before the Peacocks rallied for the win. In Week 2, MSUM faced a difficult test against number 4 nationally ranked Minnesota State Mankato and eventually fell 69-13. Jake Hodge threw for 2 touchdowns, while Adam Jiskra and Corey Ambrose caught touchdowns for the Dragons. Football got into the win column last weekend with a hard-fought 40-36 win at Wayne State on Saturday in Wayne, Nebraska. Quarterback Jake Hodge had another big day with 330 yards passing and 2 touchdowns. Hodge has thrown for 769 yards and 5 touchdowns for MSUM, while Medhog has rushed for 341 yards and 3 touchdowns. Jiskra leads the team with 322 yards and 18 pass receptions. Bull leads MSUM defense with 30 tackles on the year. Now let's turn our attention to the MSUM cross-country teams who opened the season at the Randy Smith Invitational on September 12th. Earlier this week, we sat down with head cross-country coach Ryan Milner. Talk a little bit about the team, returners, and some of the new faces we have for this season.
Okay, we'll start with the men's side. Probably the big 3 you noticed from the Randy Smith meet are going to be Jason Dow, Spencer Rubke, and Brady Spiker. Rubke's back from a redshirt season last year. He had surgery on a calf, so you can see he kind of has an immediate impact. And then some of the newcomers are going to be, you know, Jay Biower's a freshman who has some potential. He's doing okay now. He's going to be really good, I think, in 2-3 years or so, 4 years if we put a redshirt year in there somewhere. But having, you know, Spencer back, and actually Cody Christ will join us around the Jamestown meet. He'll also have an immediate impact on the team. Women's side, you obviously, you know, Molly Montoni had a great race. I think she ran within 7 seconds of what last year's winner ran. That person went on to be an All-American at the Division II level in cross country. So good sign. Obviously it's early, so you don't put a whole lot of stock into it, but it's a step in the right direction. Also encouraging to see was Mackenzie Smith ran as fast as Molly did at this time last year. So that puts her in a position where she's a threat for probably all conference, which is good.
What is it like to have your team finally starting to get up in the conversations with, you know, kind of up in the middle, top of the pack, and then going to your home meet and taking it for the men's, placing for the women, and then having 2 individuals take first? What's that like for your program?
It's always good. Anything that comes out of the program that's positive is, you know, amazing. Winning at home's even better. You know, you have the president was there, I think the first time anybody's seen her at a cross country meet, which was amazing. You know, you get old coaches back, you get alumni, so it's a positive experience for everybody. Has, you know, good vibes for, you know, all of us involved.
My goals are definitely to improve and to see myself get stronger. Improvement has always been one of my big goals, but since I've already improved, I just want to place higher at like our conference meet and at regionals.
Do you see it getting harder and harder to improve?
Yeah, I think during the summer months we put a lot of mileage on, and that definitely helps. But you have to push harder and harder each year because it does get harder to improve. Like the more you improve by like small amounts, just the harder it is to push even farther. So.
Great performance, by the way, at the Randy Smith, first place. How does that feel to be #1 amongst your peers?
Feels awesome, but we got a whole bunch of good guys, and Spencer and Brady could have been that #1 guy too. We're looking really good this year. It should be fun.
Yeah, and the team overall took first place. I mean, what is the vibe with the men's team, and what are some of the goals looking forward?
Well, we're looking a lot better than the years past, and we won the Randy Smith, which was awesome. But we're setting our goals high. We want to get top 5 at GRIAC and do well at conference this year.
The MSUM women's golf team competed in 4 events so far this fall. They opened at the Cobber Open on September 5th and finished the 18-hole event with a score of 390. The Dragons then competed at the Concordia Invitational in Detroit Lakes on September 6th and 7th and finished with a 36-hole score of 772. On September 13th and 14th, MSUM competed in the Concordia St. Paul Invitational in Lake Elmo, Minnesota. The Dragons then had a good performance at the Mustang Invite in Marshall, Minnesota on September 20th and 21st. The Dragons shot their 2 best 18-hole team scores of the season, shooting a 377 in the first round and a 358 in the second, to finish the season with a best 735. Iverson leads MSUM in the season scoring average with a 92.6, while Dietz is at 93, and Berglund is at 94.3. MSUM is at the Bemidji State Invitational on September 26th before competing the first 2 rounds of the NSIC Championships in Brainerd, Minnesota on October 3rd and 4th. Stick around, we're going to talk Dragon Homecoming 2014 right after this.
Another day. And just like every day, it never seems to slow down. But you have a plan. Grab a cup, grab the paper, and grab a little time, just for you. It's worth it. Don't get the paper? Just grab the phone. Call now and save up to 60% off the newsstand price. Journalists, bringing the story home every day.
Dragon Swim School is proud to offer year-round swimming and diving lessons with the lowest student-to-instructor ratio around. Lessons are available for all levels, including parent-child sessions and preschool. Help your child learn to love the water in a safe and caring environment with us at Dragon Swim School. Visit msumdragons.com/swim for more information. That's msumdragons.com/swim.
Welcome back. Let's talk Homecoming 2014, hashtag Dragon Pride. I got to catch up with one of the homecoming coordinators for a brief interview. Here's more. Homecoming 2014 has officially arrived at Minnesota State University Moorhead. Campus is buzzing with students enjoying all the festivities, and anticipation continues to build into the weekend. This year's homecoming theme of Dragon Pride carries a heavier buzz than usual as the campus community rallies around the inauguration of new president, Dr. Ann Blackhurst.
Well, hashtag Dragon Pride 2014 for homecoming is really special this year because of President Ann's inauguration. We've got the block party that's new this year. We have the laps for the long run, the glow-in-the-dark fun run as well, which is during the nighttime, so we've never done that before, so that's pretty cool. We have the annual chili feed, which is always exciting and interesting to see what the deans can come up with. And then also we have the ribbon cutting for the Livingston Lore Library.
New renovations, new president, and a new fundraiser that could raise over $1.2 million for MSUM. There's a lot of new things going on this year, but the old tradition still holds a special place among students.
I would say the burning of the M, because I just think that's so cool how we have this big giant M that's just in flame, and everyone comes there together, and it's just this amazing event to see MSUM there watching the big M burn. It's just incredible.
The mix of age-old traditions and the new face of MSUM will surely mark 2014 as a special year for homecoming.
And I just think that's really cool as a community and as a student body and as a university as a whole to be there to support her for that. I mean, it's a really great year for 2014 because how many times can you experience that? So I think it's pretty awesome that we get to experience that with her.
Here's a full schedule for Homecoming 2014. The standout events are laps for the Long Run fundraiser on Wednesday night. On Friday, the inauguration ceremony with an outdoor viewing party, Dragon Volleyball at 7, followed by coronation, the burning of the M, and fireworks. And Homecoming Day features Dragon Soccer at noon, football at 2, and volleyball at 5 p.m. There's also still time to book a seat at the Hall of Fame dinner and Distinguished Alumni celebrations on Friday night. Get your ticket and find all the information and events for Homecoming 2014 at dragonhomecoming.com. Since Dragon Volleyball has been on the road for 11 straight games and we finally get them back in Nemzik, we sat down with Sam Sullivan and Maggie Gruber for a little fun.
Oh boy. Sam! I don't know if she would have said herself, but...
Abby.
Abby. Okay.
See that?
Yeah. Ooh. Morgan?
Caitlin.
I mean, we're all pretty bad singers, so... Oh. Me. Casey.
Sorry.
That was my second option. I'm really bad at this, I guess.
It's pretty bad though?
Mine is pretty, yeah, it's pretty messy. A cat!
That was easy.
Duh.
You nailed it. You two are best
Friends.
in.
Oh, Friends in Low Places, Garth Brooks. I was thinking more like Shania Twain, I don't know. Or Eli Young Band. Sydney Foss. Oh. Katie Myers. Let's stick with the cat theme. Garfield? I don't know. Oh yeah, water. Been here for 20 years? No?
No, it is. Burn a calorie.
Yeah, that's a good one. Burn a calorie.
Coming up after the break, we caught up with the Go Team production staff on their first televised game. We'll be right back.
Get everything Dragons in the palm of your hand with the MSUM Dragons mobile app. Available now for all your mobile devices. Get news, events, videos, tweets, and all the live coverage you crave simply and easily. Get the MSUM Dragons mobile app today or check out msumdragons.com/mobile app for more information.
Another day. And just like every day, it never seems to slow down. But you have a plan. Grab a cup, grab the paper, and grab a little time. Just for you. It's worth it. Don't get the paper? Just grab the phone. Call now and save up to 60% off the newsstand price. Journalists, bringing the story home every day.
At Mid-Continent Communications, we pride ourselves on great customer service. Yet to Mid-Continent employees, community service is just as important. So you'll find us helping out in the places where we live and work, making a difference, lending a hand. It's what you count on neighbors for. Mid-Continent Communications, the connection that counts.
Exceeding expectations. Getting better every day. It doesn't happen by chance. Preparation pays off. So the only question to ask yourself is, am I better today than I was yesterday? Exceed yesterday. Choose Sanford Orthopedics and Sports Medicine.
Welcome back. A big thing for us here at MSUM Dragon Athletics this year is our televised broadcasts, including Dragons Live and our game broadcast. Here's Joe Schwer for more.
The Dragons football team kicked off their home opener on Saturday, September 13th versus MSU Mankato. But the Dragons and the Mavericks weren't the only teams in the stadium that day. The MSUM Go team was also hard at work.
The Go team is a student-run team here at MSUM that produces live Dragon events for television and web.
The Dragons' home opener versus the Mavs was the Go team's first ever football TV broadcast, the first of many.
This year we're going to be airing all home Dragon football games as well as all basketball doubleheaders.
Students on the Go team learned to operate cameras, instant replay, audio systems, video switchers, and anything and everything else related to live TV sports broadcasting.
We have a lot of different opportunities for students to get involved. We have the production team as well as promotional interns. We produce everything from men's and women's basketball, football, volleyball, wrestling, soccer, as well as softball.
The Go team will also air the first ever HD TV broadcast of volleyball by anyone in their conference, which airs as part of a homecoming doubleheader on Saturday, September 27th, starting with football at 2 p.m. and volleyball at 5 p.m., which means they'll have to go from their football setup, down the bleachers, through the crowds, outside, back inside, through the corridors of Nemzik, back upstairs.
And then we have to reset for volleyball once we're back inside.
Good luck with that. Joe Schwer, Dragon Athletics.
Be sure to catch live coverage of all of our Dragon televised events on Channel 6-3, which is WDAY's Extra, and Mid-Continent subscribers can catch us on Channel 596. You can also catch every game online at MSUMDragons.com and our televised games on WDAY.com. Here's some upcoming games for this weekend. Friday, we'll have volleyball at 7 p.m. Saturday, soccer at 12, homecoming football at 2 o'clock. Live coverage begins at 1:45 p.m. Volleyball at 5 o'clock, our first live high-definition production of Dragon Volleyball. And Sunday, we'll have soccer at 1 o'clock. Dragon football got its first win of the season. That means they get to take a swing at the Rock. We'll be back with more.
Personal connections at MSU Moorhead.
I came to MSUM not knowing a single person, and now there's hundreds of people I could go to for anything. Professors, peers, mentors. Discover Dragon Pride at mnstate.edu.
Real-world experience at MSU Moorhead.
My professor works in the field that I'm interested in, and he was able to give me this job, give me the experience that I needed, and I already have a full-time job before I even graduate. Discover Dragon Pride at mnstate.edu.
Another day. And just like every day, it never seems to slow down. But you have a plan. Grab a cup, grab the paper, and grab a little time. Just for you. It's worth it. Don't get the paper? Just grab the phone. Call now and save up to 60% off the newsstand price. Journalists, bringing the story home every day.
Thanks for sticking with us. Dragon football got their first win of the season. That means they get to take a big swing at a big rock. The MSUM Dragons football program got to take their first swing at the Rock on Monday. This new tradition for the team comes from an old face among Dragon fans.
Well, the pounding of the Rock really came about last year with a visit from Bob Bowlesby, a former Dragon and Big 12 commissioner right now, and he told the story when he was at Iowa how the football team had a big rock and they pounded it after every win and really signified that we're going to keep swinging and swinging, and you never know which hit is going to break the rock. Just like in a game, you never know which play is going to be that pivotal play that turns the game. And so we kind of wanted to have that same mentality of, you know what, every day is an important day, every day is a day to take a swing at life, and you never know when those important days are going to really make or break who you are as a person, so you always want to be on top of things. And
collaborate together and decide on one player who had a really good game, and it takes a team effort, and once we get a win, we like to pound the rock, and just signifies that we have a long ways to go, but every little step helps.
The Dragons chose Sheldon Jones to take the hammer into his own hands after a big play against Wayne State last weekend, where he picked off a 2-point conversion try and returned it for 2 Dragons points, making it a 4-point game in the fourth quarter and forcing the Wildcats to score a touchdown to win.
Well, eventually we want to swing it enough that the rock's broken, and so we got a little bit of a chip out of it today with Sheldon Jones, and so I think, you know, as we continue to hit and continue to make progress in our program, it's a nice tradition that we have around winning that really reinforces our philosophy in life.
The Dragons hope to take another swing next week as they host the University of Sioux Falls Cougars for homecoming on September 27th at 2 p.m. Thanks for watching Dragons Live. Our next broadcast is Wednesday, October 29th at 6:30 p.m. Same time, same place here on WDAY's Extra. Be sure to tune in to the live coverage of Dragon football and volleyball this weekend. Broadcast starts at 1:45 p.m. For the entire Go team, I'm John Webby Webking. Thanks for joining us. And now we'll leave you with some sights and sounds of Homecoming 2014.
I like when they get that little crunchy outside skin. Oh yeah. That little blister.